Desiree, the president of the ANC has arrived here in the Free State in Kroonstad. His chopper just landed about 20-30 minutes ago. They are now making their way to the family home of James Moroka behind us here, where rather ZR Mahabane, James Moroka, is in Tabanchu, where his remains lay. They will be going there in the afternoon today. Right now, this is the family home of ZR Mahabane, who was one of the ANC presidents who served 2 consecutive terms differently from the African National Congress. Was first elected in 1927, left in the 1930. He came back in 1934 and subsequently left in 1940. And then post that, the likes of Dr. A.B. Xuma took over the reins of leadership of the ANC. But one of the regions of the ANC where the remains of ZR Mahabane lays is the Lejweleputswa region. We'll speak now to Xolile Toki, who is the regional chairperson of this region. Mr. Toki, a former president of the ANC's remains lay in this region. This region has been fraught with many challenges. You've just come out of your own regional conference, heading towards the national conference of the ANC. How is the mood of the people, particularly within this region, knowing the problems that besiege Welkom and other parts of this region?
Thank you very much, Samkele, and good day and compliments of the new year. Let me just correct one thing. This region where we're at in Kroonstad, it's Festivities. I'm from Lejweleputswa. It's a neighboring region of Festivities, but we are from one province where indeed our former president is laid at. Like you just said, we are at his house to accompany the national officials newly elected at the 55th conference to come and to do the pilgrimage to both presidents that we had in the Free State, which shows that Free State has really been one of the clear political historical provinces. Now, the challenges that we have in Free State, Sabel, are common challenges that we find in South Africa, that I believe they are mostly provoked by social ills, unemployment, inequality, gender-based violence, and so on. And also the renewal. It's a very beautiful thing. It's not easy because there are people that they don't feel themselves or that don't fit in the renewal. Now that is where you find that there's a little bit of resistance, but the project is going quite very well. President Ramaphosa is leading it quite very well. With the current SG, we're excited. He's also from Free State. Free State have been providing a meaningful role in the politics of South Africa. We had the other SG who was suspended for the full term. But we have now one of the most energetic former president, former SG of the Youth League, the most longest serving NEC member. Therefore, there are no challenge. There's no problem. The ANC is on a journey. The ANC is moving, and we are here to gather strength and courage from the 4 PS of the ANC. Going forward, we'll go very much courageous, as the conference, also the 55th, gave us more courage, as some of us were delegates there. And we're continuing tomorrow. And we'll continue and make sure that the resolutions of the 54th and new resolutions of this conference are affirmed, reaffirmed, and we pave a proper way, because we don't have time to be in boardrooms. We need to hit the soil running. We need to work. We need to change the lives of the people. The problems that are bestowed with South Africa, we know all of them. We need to be focusing on that.
Mr. Toki, when you look at the conclusion or the continuation of the conference, 55th National Conference tomorrow, what are some of the key policy resolutions that you as the Free State province would like to have? You come from Welkom. It's a largely mining area, which is your region. A largely mining part of it comes from the mining sector. There are a number of mines that may have closed down, that may have affected the economy of your region. What are your key policy proposals and resolutions you want out of this conference?
Samkele is a revitalization of mining through alternative minerals. I think we are aware that there's a huge discovery of gas in Welkom, which a mine that will be here for quite some time with an investment of more than 4 trillion. And as well, it's a question of agriculture and agri-processing, because our province, its strength, it's agriculture. We've been the food hub of this continent and the province and the country. And the issue of tourism, it's in the main. Also, a lot of innovations on technology. We are also subscribing to the 4th Industrial Revolution. Now, there will be a lot of resolutions around the question of economy, but social cohesion in the main will be the one that will drive those projects, because without social cohesion, without a morally standing society, you would not have anything going forward.
Going forward, particularly when you're looking at the disunity, the factions that are there in the Free State, one of the regions which went to a regional conference, you may be a region of another region, but you go to Mangaung, they had parallel structures, which speaks about the disunity in the province. As regional chairpersons who've been elected of the two regions, with Xolile Toki, the last remaining region, to go to a regional conference, what leadership formulation, you don't have to speak names, would you like to see in the province, knowing the history of the Free State? And because many people in the ANC say everything that is wrong in the ANC began in the Free State, which is the birthplace, ironically, of the ANC.
Hence, we are correct in that narrative. Everything that is good is going to start here. Hence, even the first Letsima was launched here, and it was a success, including the question of renewal. There was a lot of retreat interaction with former President Thabo Mbeki, former Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe, the President himself before his re-election, former Deputy President Didi Mabuza. Now, we have taken the question of renewal quite very serious. The issue of social cohesion and morality, it's at the center, political stability and discipline. Now, with the ANC being the birth of, the Free State being the birth of this organization, it is our duty as the Free Stateians to make sure that we don't change the values and disappoint the 4BS that said in 1912 at Vryhoek, and make sure that this project of bringing all Africans and blacks in particular together and having a country that is non-racial, non-sexist and so on. Now, with the issue that you are raising of the conference in Mangaung, I can just tell you there's one RC that has been confirmed, approved by the IPC that I'm part of, that's set in Velcom on the 8th of December, which is led by Comrade Lawrence Mataye as the chairperson and Comrade Sabelo as the secretary. There are no parallel structures. There's always been that thing of pabadims, social gatherings, tea parties. Comrades does those things. Now that happened that side, it was just a social activity, which we appreciate when comrades interact. But the leadership is here. It's Mataye, chair, and Sabelo, secretary.
Will this time around Free State have its Secretary General of the ANC finish its term? Your last SG from Xolile Toki, this region we are in, did not finish his term. He was suspended. In
fact, the South Africa will be surprised that SG might go far than being Secretary General. That's all I can say.
What do you mean, go far?
To any higher position. He's been the president of the Youth League. Anything is possible.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toki. That is the regional chairperson of Lejweleputswa, basically predicting the future for Fikile Mbalula, the Secretary General of the ANC. The president of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, will be arriving here at the family home any moment from now. We are told that they have left the Air Force strip and they are moving towards this direction. He is accompanied by the Premier of the province, Mesisi Mantombela, and also the provincial chairperson of the IPC convener, rather, Xolile Toki, and making their way to the family home of ZR Mahabane, who is a former president of the African National Congress. His remains lay here in the Xolile Toki region, which is a region that is fraught with many challenges, a region where the former Secretary General of the ANC, Ace Magashule, also resides, a region where the ANC's former head of presidency in the last National Executive Committee, Sibongile Besane, also resides, and they will also be moving to the gravesite of James Moroka, who was also the ANC president, who removed A.B. Xuma from power in the help and with the enforcement of a radicalized, newly formed ANC Youth League in 1946.
So, Samkele, yesterday you were asking Secretary General Fikile Mbalula about the excessive partying around the January 8th statement events. Are you getting a sense of festivity, or are people tired enough just having come out from the festive season?
They are in a festive mood, and there are going to be definitely parties in and around the January 8 statement celebrations. January 8 is not only a political festival of Umkombandlela for the branches of the ANC and for South Africans at large to feel what the governing party, or hear what the governing party has in store for the political year ahead. It's also for many ANC members, ANC supporters, a festival for them to get together, to discuss politics, to have a jovial mood, to party. And it's also a tourism aspect for the various regions, various provinces, various municipalities, various cities where the ANC hosts its January 8. For instance, if you go to the 2022 January 8, in Polokwane, you look at the festivities in and around that particular January 8. You go to the January 8 that was first held in Kimberley, post the heavy lockdown or the hard lockdown within the country. The festivities that took place in Kimberley, the festivities that took place in Bloemfontein, which is about 200 kilometers from Kimberley, it showed you that this is not only about politics, but it's also about people having fun. It's also about the youth coming out, showcasing themselves and speaking to their peers on the ground and having fun and having social events. So it's pretty much a festival as well, as much as it is a political space for political theory and for political ideas and for the problems of socio-economic issues such as poverty, inequality, underdevelopment, and inequality to be resolved, and for the president of the ANC and president of the country to say what the ANC will be doing to resolve the energy crisis in the country, to resolve the plundering economy, to try and get in the much foreign direct investment that our country needs. And for instance, if you look at where we are right now, I'm just going to show you the background. You look at the roads here, it's pretty much gravel roads in this area where we are from. These people would love to get tar roads on these gravel roads that they currently have here in order for them not to have dust all over their areas. You can see some of the areas have had their roofs refurbished. The asbestos has been removed, some of the RDB houses that we're seeing here. But when we're entering this specific township, we saw some houses that still have asbestos roofings on their houses, which is a health hazardous, and which is a contract that got the former premier of the province and former provincial chairperson, Xolile Toki, in court for.
Well, Samkele, yesterday the Secretary General Mbalula was saying that he's satisfied with the safety of the venue that the January 8th statement is going to be delivered from. What have you been able to gather? Are his assertions correct? Is the stadium safe?
We do know that our colleagues Magala and Palisa, they are currently in the city of Mangaung. They will be following that particular story and have been following it tentatively and following every inch, every development on that specific story. They will have an update for us during the course of the day. Fikile Mbalula, the Secretary General of the ANC, did say that those safety hazards have been complied with, and they will be getting a safety certificate from the city of Mangaung on that particular stadium, saying that stadium had previously has been used by other political parties to hold their rallies, such as the Economic Freedom Fighters. So we will be hearing as time goes on any development and any updates on that story. But at this point in time, the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, we did speak to Xolile Toki, who is the spokesperson of the city of Mangaung, who did say that the city has now complied with all of the safety regulations and is able to hand over the stadium to the African National Congress to host their 111th birthday celebrations in Mangaung on Sunday.
Just remind us again of the significance of the top leadership embarking on today's particular activation together.
This is a show of unity. This is a show. This is the first public appearance of the ANC officials together. They will not all of them be coming The national chairperson, Gwede Mantashe, is currently in the city of Mangaung. The Treasurer General, Dr. Gwen Ramokhupa, is also in Mangaung. We are anticipating that here you will be having the president, you will be having the deputy president, and the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, all three of them together. And the other four officials are currently in Mangaung setting activations for what will take place when the president of the ANC, the deputy president, and the Secretary General arrives at the James Moroka Memorial Site and grave site, and when they go meet the families. We do know that the national chairperson, Gwede Mantashe, was addressing a political gathering yesterday in that specific region, kick-starting the ANC January 8th activation, which is pretty much what the president and the NEC of the party uses to provide umkombandlela to ANC branches of what will transpire in the political year ahead.
How is this leadership, Samkele, reaching out to the contenders who didn't make it at the 55th conference? We're hearing stories now that Karl Niehaus wants to start a new political party, and commentary saying that shouldn't be taken lightly.
Well, what we do know is that they will be having engagements. In fact, Kwazi Manzi will just show you the visuals. The president of the ANC has arrived here at the family home of ZR Mahabane. You can see the president's their vehicles coming to drop him off at the gate of the family home. I'm just going to ask my colleague Kwazimanzi just to come this side to show you the visuals of the president when he gets off of his vehicles. He will also be accompanied by the Secretary General of the party, that is Fikile Mbalula. We're also told that the Deputy President of the ANC, Paul Mashatile, is also alongside the President of the governing party. This is effectively his first public appearance as president of the ANC after his re-election at the 55th National Conference, which will be convening to conclude its business of the day when it reconvenes tomorrow on a hybrid basis across all 9 provinces. The main feeder will be the Imvelo Safari Lodge here in Manga, here in the Free State province, where the president of the ANC will effectively close the conference of the party on the 6th in the early hours of the morning. You can also see the visuals of the second Deputy General Secretary who is passing by, who is also alongside the leadership of the party. In the vehicle of the president, I am seeing inside the president of the ANC, and I would assume he is alongside the Deputy President of the African National Congress. No, he is alongside the convener of the IPC, rather, Xolile Toki. As you can see, the President of the ANC has just arrived here at the family home. He is now greeting the family of former President, the late President of the ANC, ZR Mahabane. The SG of the ANC as well is coming from the backdrop. That is Fikile Mbalula. We are yet to see the Deputy President of the ANC, whom is actually not here, as we were told that he would be coming as well. He's not. Is actually the President, the first DSG Marupini Ramokhopa, the IPC convener Xolile Toki, and the Secretary General Fikile Mbalula. We will try just to get a word or two from the ANC president since his re-election, and I wonder if we will actually speak. We will try him, and we will try get him to just say something once he's done greeting the family of ZR Mahabane, the former president of the African National Congress. As you can see there, him sending his complimentaries of the year. Mr. President, how are you feeling since your re-election?
Then we go inside.
That is the president of the ANC, seemingly not willing to answer any questions at this point in time. They are in a pilgrimage to try and reconnect the party to its roots of the party. As they had done a similar thing in 2017 after the conference results and after they were elected as the leadership of the ANC, when they went to meet the traditional leaders across the province. I am just going to try and bring in Mr. Sibongile Pesane, who is a former head of presidency of the African National, but they are taking him in. Just Mr. Pesane, the significance of this program that you have embarked on, the significance of you coming to see former leaders of the party.
This is the home of the father of ANC Renewal, Reverend Mahabane. So that is significant because the ANC is embarking on a renewal program for the next 10 years. So we're tapping into the wisdom of this mighty giant of our movement.
What is the political program for the rest of the day, but especially knowing the problems that besiege this area of Xolile Toki, and also where you are later going to the home of former President James Moroka?
Indeed, the President will be addressing some of the structures of the ANC today, and from here he will be going to Dr. James Moroka in Tabanchu, and then other structures in Mangaung, because it is a political pilgrimage where the African National Congress, on its celebration, it taps into the wisdom of its worthy ancestors.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sibongile Pesane. That is Mr. Sibongile Pesane, who was the head of the ANC presidency. The president of the ANC will also be addressing structures of the party later on today here in this specific region of Xolile Toki. He will later on move to Mangaung, Tabanchu, where he will be also going to the family home of former president of the ANC, James Moroka.
Samkele, I want to ask you, what is the tone and the mood within the Mahabane family ahead of this visit? Are they looking forward to it? Are they happy about it? What sort of issues are they hoping the president will bring up?
Desiree, what we do know is that the Mahabane family said that they don't want to be addressed by anyone else within the structures of the ANC in the Free State currently because of the problems that besiege this organization in the province. They are preparing to go to a regional conference here in Xolile Toki. They are preparing to go to a provincial conference. So there are a lot of divisions, a lot of mixed voices. So they have specifically asked to be addressed by the president of the African National Congress until the ANC in the province sorts out its internal affairs.